everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about fun Christmas gift ideas that you can sew for a friend or a family member. And this one is a quick zippered pouch that's patchwork quilted. And I added a waterproof lining inside, so I think it's perfect for a makeup pouch because of that waterproof lining. I like to get it off of Fabric Wholesale Direct, and I'll put a link down in the comments to this waterproof fabric. It comes in a lot of different colors, and I like it because you can just wash it right out. It's perfect for a makeup bag when things can tend to leak. And then I also added on some reusable makeup remover wipes. I often use those cotton rounds, and it's just a one-time use and you have to throw it away. And I just really wanted to get away from that. So I made these, and the back of them is the part that you would use because it's nice and soft, and it's just made from a baby washcloth, and you know those are so soft. So and then on the other side I just put some fun fabric to make it look nice. You just use it as you would a cotton round, and then you can just go ahead and throw them in the washing machine and wash them and use them again. And it's a fun way to use up some scrap fabric too. So like I said, this pouch comes together really quickly. So I'm going to show you what you need to get started on it. Okay, so let's take a look at what you'll need to make the zipper makeup pouch and the reusable makeup wipes. So you'll need some fabric scraps, and I cut mine down to 2.5 inches. I'm only using two types to get the checkerboard look. So I'm using 16 2.5 inch squares and 14 2.5 inch squares. So if you just wanted to make it really scrappy looking, just make sure you have about 30 2.5 inch squares to make this pouch. Now, you'll also need your lining fabric. When you finish the patchwork front and back to your pouch, it'll end at about 6¼ by 10¼ inches. So you'll need two lining pieces that are that measurement. And if you're using the waterproof canvas, it would be the same dimensions, 6¼ by 10¼ So you need two of those. And then you'll need some batting scraps cut a little bit bigger than the 6¼ by 10¼ To finish off the zipper pouch, you'll need a zipper. I like to use zipper by the yard, and this is cut to 9 inches, and you'll need a pull. You can grab some fun pulls at sewsweetness.com. Emmaline Bags has some great zippers as well. I'll put those links in the comments or in the description. And then you'll also need two extra 2.5 inch squares for the zipper ends. So I just fold those into the center and then fold it again, and make sure to press it really well. Those are just gonna go on the end of your zipper, and you'll put some stitches in to secure that in place and then trim down to size. So those are what goes right here at the end to keep the zipper from, just sliding off. And so that's everything for the zipper pouch. And then for the baby, or for the makeup removal, the reusable makeup wipes, you'll need some baby washcloths. And then I just cut those down to little 3 inch squares. And then you'll just need some scraps of fabric that measure 3 inch squares as well. Okay, so let's get started on the pouch first. So to start the pouch, you will lay out your blocks 3 by 5. Okay, and just lay them out in any order you like I'm doing the patchwork style. But you could also, or the checkerboard, but you could, if you're using just a random bunch of scraps, lay them out however it's appealing to you. And then you're gonna sew these together, and you'll make 2 of these panels. All right, so we have our panels sewn and I have them webbed together. So all the strings hold it together. It keeps everything lined up nice. I love doing this. And I have them all pressed. So I have the first and last row pressed in the same direction and the middle row pressed in an opposite direction so that I can nicely nest these seams, these corners together. What I like to do is bring them together, and if you've nested them, you can kind of feel with your hand that the seams are all lined up. And then I put a pin right there in the seam, and then I'll pull it out as I get close to the seam while I'm sewing. So a 1/4 inch seam across here. And then after I sew this seam, I will open this up and sew the next row together to complete the front and back of the panel, press them, and then I will baste these panels onto the batting I have cut, and I'll go ahead and quilt that. You can also see here that I have the zipper completely prepped. I put some stitches in along each side of that zipper end I showed you earlier. All right, so I'm gonna head over to the sewing machine and finish off these panels. Okay, so now that we have our panels quilted and trimmed, we are going to need one of the panels, one of the lining fabric, and our zipper. So what we're going to do is place our zipper right sides together on our panel and kind of center it. You're going to want space on either side for your seam allowance. And I'm going to put a clip here and here to kind of hold it in place. I'm going to move my zipper to the middle just to help me a little bit. And then we're going to take our lining panel and put it right side together with our panel, quilted panel, and kind of line it up. And then I'm going to place some clips that are holding all of this in place. Then I can take this one and clip everything in place on both sides. So we kind of have this sandwich of our main panel, the quilted panel, our zipper, and the lining. And if you want, you can add some more clips to hold everything in place, whatever you feel comfortable with. And now I'm going to go to my sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch seam across here. You may need to keep your needle lowered at some point and move your zipper from side to side just to be able to sew past, because the zipper pull might push your presser foot out of the way. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so see, we have this sewn in place. And now what it'll look like is you'll push this open. There's our front panel, zipper all sewn together. Now you may want to press down gently, use your iron. If you're using the waterproof canvas, you can't press on this side, it could melt your canvas, but you could press on the quilted side, and then we're going to top stitch across here to hold everything in place. So about 1/8 of an inch from the seam, and you could extend your stitch length up to 3.5. Okay, so now we have that top stitching across here. It holds everything nicely now. And so we're going to move on to sewing the other side of the pouch on. Now, I like to lay my panel down and then put right sides together again with the zipper. Line it up in the middle. And again, I'll put some clips in place just to hold it. Make sure it's lined up. And then you'll put your other lining on right sides together again. And clip in place. And then check, make sure everything's lined up. Oh, I didn't clip through both. Okay, so now we're gonna sew again a 1/4 inch seam, and you may need to lift everything up and pull the zipper pull out of the way again, sewing across here as well. Okay, so we have this side sewn, and then if you open it up, you'll see the back of your zipper. You bring it all the way open, you'll see both sides now. The top of the zipper. Okay, and so again, I'm going to take this and press my quilted side down and top stitch across here as well. Okay, so now we're already ready to sew our pouch together and finish it off. So what I like to do is take some double-sided tape and fold up the lining to the wrong side. So this is the wrong side of my lining. I like to fold it up because we're gonna leave the lining, the bottom of the lining open so that we can flip our bag right side out after we sew it. So I have some double-sided tape here. And this just helps keep it in place for easy sewing after I've sewed the sides. It is, you don't have to, if you're using just fabric as your lining, you could just press it up. And I'm doing it about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. I'm just eyeballing it. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, now we're just going to clip the, now I would put your pull open just a little bit so you can stick your hand through to turn this right side out after sewing, but we're going to bring right sides of the patchwork together and right sides of the lining together, and we're going to clip everything in place. So you can start at the seams on the side because you really want those to line up. I'm gonna put a clip on both sides. All right, so now we're just going to sew along the sides. the bottom of the outside of the pouch along the sides, and we're going to leave the bottom of the lining open. Okay, so now that the outside is sewn, one thing you can do to kind of help make the points nice on the sides of this makeup bag is to trim the sides. Okay, have those trimmed, and now you'll just put your hand through, and this is why it's important to leave the zipper open a little bit, and pull the bag right side out. And you push your points through. If you have a turning tool or anything like that, they might come in handy here. Okay, and once you see everything looks like it's lining up well, you can go and sew the lining closed across here. Okay, I'm going to put a few clips in to hold it in place. Okay, so I'm going to sew across here, and then we'll take a look at how this bag looks all finished. Okay, so we have the lining sewn closed, and now we're just going to push it inside of the zipper pouch. Now it'll be a little bit easier to press the top open where we have those zipper stoppers. Push everything in place. Okay, there is our finished pouch. How cute. So we have the two pouches. I really love this zipper pull. You can find so many cute zipper pulls out there. I think it adds a fun touch to a really simple bag. Okay, so I'm gonna set these to the side, and we're gonna talk about the reusable makeup wipes. Okay, so I have my 3-inch cut down baby washcloths, and then I have some 3-inch scraps. And what we're going to do is, one, I'll decide, do I want these with the white baby washcloth or the light pink? Just kind of depend on how nicely the colors go together, right? So one side of the baby washcloth is kind of like the back. It's not as soft and plush. The more plush side, you'll want to put right sides together with the fabric. Okay, and you could put a pin in if you would like to hold them in place, whatever you feel more comfortable with. So I'm going to place a little pin on either side, and I'm telling you, these come together so fast. So what you want to do is you'll sew a 1/4-inch seam up one side, down the other, and then down. And I like to go into the last side a little bit on either side, so I'll probably start right here, go around, and then you'll want to leave a little bit of an opening to flip right side out. And you'll press the seams out a little bit so that you can top stitch around the entire makeup cloth. So I'm going to get a few of these prepped right sides together. Let's do this a different color. Let's kind of get a few ready. Oh, did I put that? No, I put it right. Sometimes they feel this a little bit close to the same on either side because both sides are pretty soft. So if you do it the wrong way, you'll probably be fine. You just don't want rough fabric that you're going to be scraping across your face. I keep thinking I'm putting the wrong side. Get a few of these. That one's a little small for some reason. I must have cut it not very well. So you'll really be surprised how fast these come together. They'd probably be, if you do like any vendor events or anything like that, would be nice to make up for those and maybe sell them in, you know, bundles of 5 or something like that. Okay, so the main thing you want to remember here is when you're sewing around to leave a little bit of an opening to turn them. Okay, so now that you have them sewn, I'm going to trim off any excess because there's a lot of stretching with those, with the baby washcloths, and then I'm going to trim off the corners just so they turn a little bit nicer. Okay, so see how I did all of that. Now we have that opening that we're going to flip the reusable makeup wipe right side out. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to press it with these raw edges turned in so that when I top stitch around, they'll be held in place. Okay, and then if you want, you could put like a little clip or something there just so that it holds in place when you take it over to sew. Okay, so let's do one more. So I'm gonna trim off corners, any excess that got pushed kind of wonky. It's working with such a small little piece, so you know, can be kind of hard to get everything to line up the way you would really want it to, but just be patient with them. You could also cut these, you know, a little bigger, cut it 4 inches and then do a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and it'll make it a little bit easier at like turning these in here. So it really takes a lot of patience. Okay, so we have a little square there. If you need to, put a pin in to hold it in place. And you know, I'll do the same thing with these, and then you just go around and top stitch around the whole square. Okay, just like that, they are done. Makeup remover wipes that are reusable. Go ahead and throw them in the wash after you use them. And a cute patchwork makeup bag. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave me a comment below and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have a ton of fun sewing projects coming up in December. Take care. Have a great day.